That hurricane watch that's happening on the Gulf Coast. Take a look at this image from NASA. That is Tropical Storm Harvey from space. It's massive.
And it is gaining strength right now. Evacuations underway in some parts of Texas. People are preparing for the worst. They're stocking up on supplies. We want to go right to Ginger. She's tracking the storm. Good morning, Ginger.
George, they are right to prepare for the worst because this will be a heavy rain event and flooding that could impact life and property. We could lose both this weekend. Let me take you to Tropical Storm Harvey that formed overnight or redeveloped, and you can see it's about 300 miles south and east of Brownsville. Max sustained winds right now 45 miles per hour, moving north at 10 miles per hour. There are hurricane watches, tropical storm warnings, and a hurricane warning for a large area in southeast Texas, but this flood watch extends all the way to San Antonio for up to 20 inches of rain. We've got to get to the track in just a couple of moments, but first, our Matt Gutman already standing in water this morning in Corpus Christi. Matt?
Hey, good morning, Ginger. You're right. Water is the major story here. Now, check this out. The water here off of Corpus Christi is like a bathtub, 87 degrees, which is great if you want to go swimming. Very bad for a storm. It's basically turbocharging Harvey. And all morning long, our phones have been buzzing with hurricane warnings. Texas is very much on its toes this morning. This morning, Texas declaring a state of disaster with cities along a 600-mile stretch of the Gulf of Mexico bracing for catastrophic rainfall.
We need people to be aware.
Harvey churning towards the Texas Gulf Coast, upgraded to a tropical storm overnight. Major cities, including Houston and San Antonio, forecast for a deluge of over a foot of rain from this storm, plus potentially devastating storm surge.
We're going to have coastal flooding.
All of our bayous and creeks would be potentially a problem with this type of rainfall.
Residents in the Lone Star State emptying shelves, many stores selling out of basics, including water.
Some of the essentials.
Water and food and batteries.
Just getting ready for it.
City officials and emergency responders preparing for the worst this morning. Local law enforcement practicing for potential helicopter rescues. College campuses under mandatory evacuations, and drivers warned to avoid the roads as main thoroughfares are shut down. Now, 12,000 students could potentially be locked out of the local university here. There's sandbagging operations all over this town, and there's concern as far away as New Orleans, 550 miles away, that the pumps there won't be able to handle that massive deluge. Ginger.
Matt, thank you. So much to talk about here, but we have to go to the track and the timing. I know that's important to everyone. So as it gets going the next 24 hours, we should see this become a hurricane, a Category 1. It makes landfall sometime early Saturday morning just south of Corpus Christi in this latest track. Then it sits around, and that's going to be the problem. It does not move much, and that's where you're going to end up getting significant rainfall. Some of the warnings have up to 25 inches locally, a wide swath of 8 to 15 inches. And you can see it goes all the way, as Matt was saying, up through Louisiana. Storm surge 2 to 7 feet, huge waves that we will talk about in just a bit. And guys, this is going to be a big storm, not just because of the storm surge, but because of that rain, much like Tropical Storm Allison. Look at these images from 2001. This was only, in quotes, a tropical storm. But if we remember, there was $5 billion in damage, more than 20 people dead, 30,000 homes in Houston lost because of the